Okay, so I'm trying to work with this new camera toy I got that I shared with y'all a little bit ago, but it's kind of strange when maybe if I do this. So it adjusts to meet where I am. So I'm trying to use it. So we went to Hobby Lobby on Saturday. I was looking I have a friend that's moving into her house finally, and so I was getting a few more things for a housewarming gift for her. And then when I was cleaning out our bedroom, I have a basket of books and like my Bible and stuff, and I was going through that, and I found these photographs of Ezra, and they were already printed out. They were 4x6, and there's some of my absolute favorite pictures of him. Ezra is our son. He passed away in April 2 years ago. He was 8.5 when he passed away. Ezra was medically fragile from birth, and his death was still unexpected. Even though he was so medically complex, he was extremely stable, and we were and are still shocked by that reality. But after Ezra died, we did some home renovations and got our walls painted, and so a lot of our pictures and stuff were taken off the walls for that process. And then just due to grief, I mean, I have pictures of him out periodically, but I had a hard time mounting big pictures of him everywhere because just that constant seeing of his face and his smile was like hindering my ability to function during the day. I mean, I look at pictures of him every single day, but in moments when I choose to and when I can. But I feel like now I'm at a point where I'm ready to have his photographs everywhere, always out. So we're gonna hang this. Sorry, this thing is moving because I'm moving. I don't know if this is gonna make y'all dizzy, but so I just did this. I'm cleaning up our bedroom. I'm gonna have Bryan hang this. Our choice was either a white frame or this wood frame, but our headboard is kind of this more natural wood. So this looks really pretty. And now that I'm gonna hang this on Bryan's side, I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna go back after we hang it, because the room's gonna kind of look off balance, and also like maybe get one and put 4 pictures of me and Ezra on the other side. I don't have pictures that are like the same where they're in the same clothes and like, you know, like this, but I have some really sweet ones. I actually have one that we took of me and him the day before he died that's really sweet. He has a huge smile on his face, so I really like that one. But one reason why I love these pictures is not just his sweetness and his smile, but this was the first trip that we ever took with Ezra. Ezra had a trach and slept on a ventilator. And for his infancy, he was on the vent full time for a good stretch of time. So like we couldn't go to a doctor's appointment without being taken by ambulance. And, you know, we didn't leave the house outside of an appointment that we had help to get to. And then he got to a point where he could handle breathing except when he was asleep. So we would just bring the ventilator on his wheelchair in case he fell asleep and took a nap or for an emergency. And then, so it allowed us to leave and go places with him and travel. And so we lived in Houston at the time, and we went to Galveston on a family vacation. And it was so precious because as a family, we were able to do things, and Ezra was so happy. He's just the happiest little baby. So I love these pictures, and I know for the first few weeks, it's probably gonna be hard to walk in my room. See, it's already making me cry. But I know it's gonna be a good thing. It's good for us to see him. If you follow me on Oso Farm on Facebook or Instagram, I made a post today about grief. So if you want to know a little bit more just about how we're feeling, you can go and read that post. But I got this set up, so I'm gonna have him hang this tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I think it's about 4:30, sweep my room, dust, and then it'll probably be time to switch out the laundry, and then it's Lizzie's night to help with dinner. That's something I'm starting this school year, is having my 3 teenagers be in charge of dinner for one night a week. I mean, I'm there to help them, but I want them to really be able to fully cook on their own. So I have told them that when we're more organized, I'll even allow them to choose, you know, within reason and cost, what they want to cook, because they'll have 4 nights once a week, 4 nights a month that they will be cooking. And so, you know, so that before I do my monthly shop, I will ask them what they want to make, and we'll make sure we have those ingredients. But for August, I think the only thing I had, Esme really likes ribs, and I had some pork ribs in the freezer, so she'll be able to make those. But tonight we're having some burritos that she's gonna make. Okay, so Esme is making Amber's Kitchen browned, what is it called? Brown butter sourdough cookies. The dough has been in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and she is about to bake these up. This is one of Bryan's favorite. Okay, so I'm making a peach cheesecake dessert, and I have made the graham cracker crust. I crushed up some gluten-free graham crackers and mixed them with melted butter and sugar. Sorry, my sweet Lizzie is a giggle box today. And I have 4 sticks of cream cheese and 1 cup of sugar in here that I'm about to mix up. And then we're gonna stir in these chopped peaches and 1 container of Cool Whip.
What is he doing?
Okay, we're not quite sure what's going on here, or if Juno is a willing participant. But usually she hisses at him when she's had enough, but he is like loving on her.
I think she might be in his opinion.
Oh, we're giving kisses. Goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's purring.
Oh, what the?
Okay, and now we're also, I forgot to mention this, gonna add a 3-ounce package of peach Jell-O. I had a hard time finding this. It was not at Walmart. I actually found it at our local H-E-B. Okay. Ooh, it's a pretty color. Okay, so the Cool Whip was not totally, it's still frozen in the center. So I blended those up, and then you're supposed to just stir in the peaches and the Cool Whip. So I'm actually gonna go finish cleaning up my room. I've got about maybe 10 or 20 more minutes to let this thaw. And then we're just gonna spread it in here and wait for it to harden in the fridge. All right, here are her cookies that have cooled. They are huge. They are about the size of the palm of my hand. So They are a hearty snack. I will link Amber's Kitchen's website. She also has a great Instagram account that you should go and follow too if you really like sourdough recipes and a lot of ideas on what to do with your sourdough discard. Okay, so I just went and got parchment paper from the garage, and it had me thinking, sometimes I get questions about how do you create a stockpile where it doesn't seem overwhelming. And so even though this parchment paper will take us probably 4 months to go through, having a stockpile means that you always have extra. So when I just got this from the shelf in the garage, because Esme just used the last of it and told me that we were out, we use a lot of this for our sourdough baking. When I went into the garage where I store all of our extra Ziplocs and stuff that are not the ones we're using in the kitchen, I noticed that this was the last one. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my online Sam's order. And then what I'll do is, by adding it to my order, I know that it's something that I need, that I don't have a stockpile of anymore. And so when I'm doing my Sam's order for the month and I have the price in my mind, like I usually do my Sam's online order after I do my Sam's in club purchase. So say like this month, I know what I spent in store, and so I only wanted to spend $200 online at Sam's. So then I can go through, and I know that I'm not gonna need that right away, but if my budget allows for this month, I'll go ahead and add that to my September purchase. And if not, I just hit save for later, and then it's stored in my cart there. Not in my cart, but in my save for later. And so when I do have extra money, and each month I do go through and look through my saved for later, and I don't keep things in there that I don't need, like if I've already replaced them somewhere else. And that just helps me to trigger my memory. It might be easier to have like a master list somewhere, but this is just how I do it. I just go through and add things to my carts as I run out of them each month.
It's not even my
Okay, so it's first time making it, so if you watched our last video, you know that we print it, and then if it's a keeper, we write it on a recipe card. So we are gonna try this Instapot chili beef burritos. So tonight is Lizzie's night. So she's gonna chop this onion, and I got this out of the freezer. This is actually, it's leaking a little bit, meat that we bought at Sam's. This is the last of my beef. That's not the cow that we just purchased. So I'm going to get some tongs and get that in here. We're going to add all the ingredients that we've lined up over here and then get this going. Also over here, I just Googled how to take white cooked rice that we had left over and turn it into Spanish rice. And so we made those chicken meatballs that I had made in a few videos ago that I'd put in the freezer, and we made some rice with it, and I over-made rice so that I'd have some left over this week. So all I did was add the cooked rice in here, some olive oil, 1/4 cup of water, 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, some minced onion, that's probably about 3 tablespoons of butter, salt, pepper, and some garlic. And when our Instapot gets closer to being done, since the rice is already cooked, I will heat this through and then taste it to see what we need to add to it. So hopefully that will be a good way for us to reuse the rest of that rice. These cookies are so huge. Oh my gosh. They look so good, don't they? When the dough is in a ball before she puts it in the oven, she puts extra chocolate chips on it right before it goes in. So it gives it that extra chocolate on the top. Okay, so I just added the 2 pounds of stew meat into our Instapot, and she is gonna dump this onion that she chopped in here. Got Roger barking in the background. Okay, Okay, we're gonna have to pause, let Roger out, and open up all our canned goods. All right, so she's gonna add the green chilies, 4 ounces of green chilies. They're gonna ask about this. What is this called that you have?
The ganglion cyst.
Yeah, we see a hand specialist in September to maybe get that surgically fixed. We'll see. When it bothers her, she puts athletic tape on it to help. Okay, and then the 2 cans of enchilada sauce. Okay, and then there's 2 beef bouillon cubes right there she's gonna open up. And while she does that and drops those in, I usually use all of this at once, but when I don't, I write the date on it for just my memory. I never can remember how old something actually is, so I know that this can be good for about 2 weeks past the date that I open it in the refrigerator. So she's gonna use a 1/2 cup of this chicken broth. She dropped those bouillon cubes in there. She's gonna pour the chicken broth in, and then we're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and 1 teaspoon of cumin.
Teaspoon or a whole teaspoon?
A teaspoon of cumin and 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. It also calls for 2 tablespoons of a chipotle pepper sauce, but I used all of that. All right, they're going in. My 2 girls don't like cheese, so I've got 3 without cheese, and then mine. We're gonna put these in. They're on broil for a couple of minutes.